All right, welcome back, everyone. This week we are going to continue talking about proportions, but we're going to use word problems to do it. And there is a key thing that we need to do in order to solve a word problem with a proportion, and that is we have to be able to identify two things that are being compared. Okay, so in this first problem, it says a family of 6 decided to go to the Timberwolves game. Their upper level tickets cost $144. Find the cost for a group of 15 friends to go to the Timberwolves game with upper level tickets. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is just identify what's being compared. So um, the one thing that's being compared is the number of people that are going to a game, right? So we have family and friends that are considered people. And the question about what we want to find is how much does it cost? Okay, so the two things that we're comparing are the number of people and the cost. Okay, so we can go ahead and create a fraction that has the number of people and the cost. So I'm going to put people on the top and cost on the bottom. Okay, so my goal is to create two fractions that I can then solve to be able to figure out for the missing cost for a group of 15 friends. Okay, so the key thing is to make sure we keep the numbers in the right location. So people goes in the numerator, cost goes in the denominator. So it says a family of 6, so that's 6 people, decided to go to the Timberwolves game. Their upper level tickets cost $144. So then the 144 would go underneath the 6. And then it says find the cost for a group of 15 friends, so that goes in the numerator, to go to the Timberwolves game with upper level tickets. So we don't know anything about the cost of the 15 tickets, so we can just put an X there. Okay, so then the key thing we want to do next is we want to cross multiply. And when we cross multiply, we have 6 times x equals 15 times 14, now, or times 144. Now, these are a little bit bigger numbers, so it's okay to go ahead and grab a calculator and do 15 times 144. And that's 2,160. And then all I have to do is divide by 6. So x is equal to, well, I need to grab a calculator to do that. 2,160 divided by 6 is 360. Okay, so that means the cost for 15 friends to go to the Timberwolves game with upper level tickets is $360. All right, let's look at another example. This one's about Halloween, the holiday that just happened. All right, it says a spooky goblin giving out candy for Halloween has seen 48 kids in 1.5 hours. All right, so I'm going to stop there because this is a point where I can identify the two things that are being compared, kids and hours. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a fraction with kids and hours. Now, if you said people instead of kids, that'd be fine. The whole idea is that we identify the two different things that are being compared. So then the question is, how many kids would this spooky goblin expect to see over a span of 3.5 hours? So let's identify the first fraction. So the first fraction is 48 kids, 1.5 hours. And the second fraction, we don't know the number of kids. It's asking us to find how many kids. And then the time is 3.5 hours. Okay, so again, we're going to cross multiply. And after we cross multiply, we're going to have 1.5x. Now notice how I'm always putting the x on the left-hand side. I like to do that because it makes it easier to do the math. So we have 1.5x, and then 48 times 3.5. Well, we got a decimal, so grabbing a calculator is not going to be a bad idea. If you want to try and do it in your head, I'm perfectly fine with that, but if you're doing this on a quiz or a test, I would maybe suggest grabbing a calculator because then it'll be right for sure. So we have 168, and then all we have to do is divide by 1.5. So 168 divided by 1.5 is 112. So that means over 3.5 hours, the spooky goblin who's giving out candy will see 112 kids. All right, here we go. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 problems for you to do here. What I want you to do is go ahead and do those 10 problems. And when you are done, you need to enter them on Schoology. And in order to get people to watch the video all the way to the end and make sure they know how to do these, there's a password on the assignment, and that password is spooky.